Hello, my name is Grian, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 kitchen designs. So let's get straight into it. The first one is a clay-based room. Now there's a few things I want to point out because there is a lot to go over with kitchen design. The first thing is this little gap produced by a very simple use of stone brick staircase. Another one is these wine barrels, which are used just log and tripwire. And there's all sorts of things in this room which will be covered again and again throughout the rooms in different palettes. So you can see this table here utilizing the anvil. It looks like one of those ventilators. And in fact you could change it. You don't have to have stone brick everywhere. You could in fact have like a flower pot with a flower in it and then put the anvil on top. It's up to you how you design it, but it's all the concepts and designs. So there's a lot of things, as I said, to go over. But one of the main things are how you decorate your walls and interlace all of the little storage areas, because obviously when you have a kitchen you need a lot of storage areas, a lot of worktops, and utilizing the activator rails, they look like hobs for cooking on, the iron block look like great worktops, and then these little kitchen cabinets are fantastic. Just a piece of wood with an item frame and then a carpet or a piece of snow, anything like that. It looks like a little handle and you can move it around. And then you see all these different type of blocks that match the clay palette room. There are more to go over and you will see them throughout the video. Next up we have a sandstone based wall room, and it's got a similar sort of story with all the different cabinets, but this time utilizing the doors. I do have to use barriers, but if you have access to weld edit you are able to do some tricks there, and you can put the doors on the top to produce those sort of fake cabinets. One thing here, we're utilizing the anvil again, but have a hob underneath it, and you can see all these little nooks and crannies really add a lot of depth to the room. They are really important, even if they are only one block. And you can see the floor here is polished andesite, and some slabs just to make it a nice, subtle checkered floor. Next up we have a wooden based room with a more sort of kitchen diner style. So we have the diner on one side separated by the signs and the carpet combination, and then a very distinct checkered style kitchen. Although the wood here doesn't have any decoration, you do need to add a lot of sort of item frames, and you can add the cabinets in any situation. The glass there makes like a little bin. It's all these little tiny tricks that you have to put together to form a proper kitchen. I cannot stress that enough, because there are two main things that come in handy with these things: your palette and your little details. Now this one is probably my favourite just because it technically is a kitchen. It's a barbecue with an outside area. You've got like this little umbrella or like stand or whatever, utilising string and carpets. You just stick the carpet on top of the string so it looks invisible, and you can sit down at all these chairs and tables along with a nice barbecue utilising, you know, anvils and droppers and hoppers and that kind of stuff. And just the palette there looks really nice. Next up, we have more of an industrial style kitchen, sort of maybe for a restaurant or something like that. And you have all these different tables, and they've got various different things, even things like buttons and flower pots. All those things really add up to having a great room. And you can add iron doors on the front of iron blocks, so you can have a complete fridge, and then you can add the redstone if you so wish. And then at the back is kind of a nice little detail. It's just a pantry full of fake shelves, not really useful. You could add item frames with stuff on it, but it is just one of those little details. And you have a fridge here inlaced into the wall. All very simple designs if you have a restaurant build. Ooh, XP. Anyway, there is a nicer room here that's sort of got like one of those islands where you prepare the stuff instead of having the worktops interlaced around the walls. So you can have item frames with all your little cutlery on the top there. I only chose hose and shovels, but you get the idea. And then on the back here is a really nice design for a bunch of shelves utilizing spruce wood staircase, books to make it look like they're, you know, recipe books or something, but they're nice and tall so that they don't dominate the scene. And then you've got a different color palette of wall, roof, and floor combination. Next up we have a more modern design, as I like to include. We have glass as a base, you know, and keeping lots of andesite on the floor, the palette here is what generally makes this style. We have the prismarine on the back wall, and we've got all the same details that you've been seeing in all the other rooms, just with a palette that matches a more modern scene, including those roof lights, the paintings, and that kind of thing. So it's all very simple stuff there. Next we have, again, another sort of modernish type of build, but utilizing a few different techniques. We have like a basin here with some glass on the side, it's like washing hands and stuff, and then we got furnace, which is actually a nice addition. We didn't actually use this too much, and you can add a rail for the hob, and then you have the ventilator going up through the roof, and utilizing quartz a lot more here, and you actually could add some ferns in plant pots to have it so it looks like you're growing your own herbs and spices. And then you can have all the sort of details that we've been going over. This is just in a different palette style. So next up we have my favourite attic style. Now you wouldn't normally find a kitchen here, but I thought I'd include it anyway just because of it. And I want you to take close care of like all the little indents in the wall utilising staircase. Those little pieces of depth just sort of break up the flatness of a wall. And the kitchen part is this stove. It is just a minecart with a furnace in it around a cobblestone fireplace, so it looks like, you know, you could cook beans on it or something like that. It's very, very simple, but yet effective. And you got all these anvils and stuff where you might prepare food, and everything else is kind of simple or based around that room with the slanting roof, etc. And finally, we have a rather grim butcher scene, which is actually still technically a kitchen, and we have the netherrack and the quartz netherrack to make it look like a corpse of some sort, and then you have some redstone on the floor to make it look like blood, and you can see by the choice of the colour, the grey is very dominant here. It's make it seem even more dungeon-like, and the lack of like fun tables and all the little cabinets and stuff, that really makes the scene. And instead of just having like a stone wall, you can have it interlaced with cracked stone brick, normal stone brick, to give it that extra bit of detail. So we have all of our designs here, back to the attic one, and then quite a few modern designs. But as I have said throughout this, it is kind of like a copy-paste of each trick in a different situation. So there's a lot of use of item frames, there's lots of cabinets, there's lots of little uses of flower pots and pressure plates and that kind of thing. And you can see it is just rehashed in different scenarios every time, but they're still unique. And that's what's lovely about these little design videos, is you can use the same item 10 different ways to get 10 different outcomes. And that's just the magic of default, which I intentionally use because most people have a default texture. I know a lot of people say, oh, why don't you use a texture pack? It's because default has been my bread and butter tool since the very, very beginning of playing Minecraft. So it's what I've used, it's what I expect a lot of other people use. I know that console people don't have the option of these mad crazy texture packs that we on PC do, so they might appreciate that a little more, and I feel like it's just more universal. So that's it from me. I really have enjoyed these 10 design, room design videos. They're fun to make, it's nice to show off all these little tricks, and I have to again shout out my crew boys, Botbox and Adjust Me, who helped pretty much put most of this together. I went over them and changed them and sort of, made them better, but like they designed most of these along with me, so big shout out to my guys there. They've been absolutely wonderful, and we've been working really hard on a bunch of new series. Now, I will be trying out a few new things on the channel in the near future, and I hope that it is welcomed graciously. I've now tried like non-Minecraft video with like Who's Your Daddy, and I intend on trying maybe a little like survival build a roleplay kind of thing. I have got a lot of experience thanks to Sam's involvement in his series, so I've got a bit of experience, and I want to try some new stuff out to try and broaden my content a little further than just building. Don't worry, I will remember my roots. I know that I have a lot of people that love my tutorials and stuff, and I will continue to do that. But making tutorials is very time extensive, so I have to try and sort of come up with these new ways of making content very quickly kind of thing, because trying to keep up with daily uploads and Minecraft is a little bit strenuous. Anyway, that's enough blabbing about my personal stuff. I should be talking about you and thanking you for watching the video as always. So, here it comes. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, give some feedback. I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.